Hi! I was supposed to have a 3,000 subscriber Q&A and I just never got around to it, and that was like 600 subscribers ago, so better late than never. I got these questions from my audience and added in a couple to bulk the video up. Some of these I took from my initial Q&A, so I can private that one as soon as this one is done. Let's just get into it. I haven't decided what I'm using for background visuals. It's probably Overwatch. I hope you like Overwatch. Our first question is, how do you pronounce your channel name and where did the name come from? It's pronounced Zefro. I came up with it when I got my Nintendo Switch because prior to that, I really had no use for an online gamer tag or however you'd call it because nothing I really used supported online communication. Nothing super permanent anyway. I know that I would go by some variant of like Toy Bonnie on some things or like... I had Minecraft usernames that felt kind of juvenile to use as anything proper, so I just wanted to come up with something more personal to me. I've never been a fan of using like nouns in a username, if that makes sense. I don't know. I want it to sound like I have originated from an alien planet. I was basically like, what sounds like a cool original gaming YouTuber name, and this is what I came up with. I've been using it ever since, and sometimes I feel pretty unique and smart for coming up with it. I take it as a compliment, actually, to my creativity to have a username that's hard to pronounce, I guess. Where do you find inspiration for your videos from? My heart. I do what I feel in my heart is right. It's just kind of a tricky question for me because I wouldn't say any one thing ever really inspires me to make a video very often. I just have interests come and go. Sometimes those interests will make me feel like making a video out of it. I shouldn't say this out loud because then I might get held to it, but I'm really into Overwatch right now and I'm looking at potentially making a video on it for the 10th anniversary in May. I find the most of my inspiration from my childhood and even like my early teens. I know it seems like every 20-year-old nowadays is trapped in this permanent adolescence, or at least feels like they are. But I've always kind of just regarded my channel as a healthy way to stay in touch with my good past memories and have a little bit of creative fun in my life. I just love making things. I'm inspired predominantly by that creative drive in general, we'll say that. Who or what inspired you to make videos? My boyfriend did have a lot to do with inspiring me to actually start making YouTube videos. I had always wanted to be a YouTuber as a kid. Like in 2012 I wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber, and by 2016 I wanted to be an art YouTuber, and in 2020 I wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber again. But he was covering stuff on his YouTube channel that I found incredibly interesting, and after talking to him about his YouTube experience and seeing how successful he was with his own channel, I felt like I could do something like that with what I had. There's no art setup or gaming PC required to just talk about random shit I like. In terms of the appearance and vibe of the channel itself, I was super inspired by YouTubers like Izzy's and Polygon Donut, and in general the whole frutiger aero and 2000s TV type aesthetics. The most recent redesign for my channel is actually supposed to be kind of an overlap of those two things, even though in practice they're pretty different. I do feel like I nailed an identity that is inspired by like widespread aesthetics, but also uniquely my own thing that way. I have made this very crappy graphic to express what I wanted the overall vibe of my channel to be, and I hope I have achieved this. Is there a specific topic you haven't covered but would like to in the future? There are a few different cartoons and anime series I would kind of like to talk about, but the only reason why I haven't is because I would need to like rewatch or finish watching some of those things, and some of the times it's hard to do that without like 1,000 subscriptions to DB or Plonkly or Blupo or whatever. I said this in another video, but I would love to make a Ruby video. A general crash course on it would be really fun, but more specifically I do think a cut concepts video would be really fun to do for that one. There's like tons of production stuff to talk about for that show. I've also thought about doing Soul Eater and Ouran High School Host Club videos a few different times. Those are two of the only animes I've actually ever watched, but again I would need to rewatch them, and everyone knows how hard of a watch the latter is in the modern day. I would love to make a Shizao video. A Wild Grinders video would be really fun, but I still don't know how to talk about boy-aimed stuff without making myself sound like a boomer bitching about what kids watch these days. Like honestly, I have a whole book full of ideas I haven't touched. Maybe I will just give you a little sneak peek into what I'm cooking up. Who or what is your main art inspiration? I love the appearance of like 2000s and 2010s animation. I can't say for sure that I have one single inspiration. Again, I will bring up the graphic. Growing up with a mix of cell and digital animation animation has given me an appreciation for both mediums, and I'm always experimenting in some sort of way. There was an art YouTuber I watched religiously around 2016 and 17 who really, I think, shaped the bones of my art and inspired my art the most. Even though my art style has fluctuated since I was that age and looking up to their specific art style, I would still say there's elements in my art I can point out that I've learned specifically from watching them work. I found that their channel is still up, but they deleted a lot of their earlier videos that I watched, and they don't seem to be very active at all on any platform, and the last time their Tumblr was updated was 2020. I don't mean to send people seeking them out, I just haven't heard basically anything about them or what could have possibly happened. It's just kind of bittersweet, but I do wish good things for them. Other than that, I would say just anything with really bold graphic lines and super solid colors. I also love stuff that's kind of patchworked together, the appearance of Blue's Clues is a big inspiration to me. I love scrapbooking. My recent sprites are kind of more scrapbooked together with different paper and textures and things. I don't know. I can't nail down one specific thing that I would say inspires my art. It's more so a combination of a lot of different things that I've seen. If you pop open a craft book from the 90s, I would say a lot of that on paper. Digitally, it's almost the same thing. I like to do a lot of texturing with actual photos of things, but yeah, a lot of 90s 2000s inspirations and even some early 2010 stuff I would say is the broad scope of my inspiration. What is something you'd like to improve about your channel? I low-key wish I was funnier. I know there's a balance that people want out of videos. Certain people complain when a YouTuber is too serious, where others will get annoyed when a YouTuber is constantly trying to get a laugh out of their audience. I just feel like I haven't quite struck that balance that makes my videos feel both fairly informative and simultaneously entertaining to watch. Roll a funny clip here. Other than that, I wish I could make my videos look and sound a little better. I record and edit all of my videos on my phone and finish the processing on my computer. Both of them are pretty low-end older devices, and I would invest into better equipment if my videos were a little more profitable. I'm happier now with the appearance and sound than I was a year or so ago. Part of it might also be able to be improved through my own sheer will. Above all, I'm just making videos for my own fun, so it's not that big of a deal, honestly. They're not supposed to be these crazy blockbusters or super production quality videos like a lot of impressive stuff is on here, but that being said, opening up the possibility for a little bit more polish would be really nice. Are there any videos you'd like to redo? Can I say all of them? I don't know. I think the Hetalia one definitely needs revisiting, especially because that show blew up again recently for no reason. I would like to do and have attempted to write another Furby video since that's my most popular one, and a lot has developed since I made that video. I'm sort of disappointed in the fact that I have talked about quite a few of the things that I like, but I only just recently got to an alright skill level with doing the voiceover. I loved doing the Smash Brothers iceberg, and that video would be nearly impossible to do now with the equipment I have, or rather the equipment I don't have. Not to say that it isn't a video I'm still proud of now, but the voiceover in particular bothers me. Not to say that it isn't a good video that I'm still proud of now, but the voiceover, I don't know what it is about the voiceover, but that in particular bothers me. To answer the question, I think every video other than the last maybe 10 I've uploaded are all subject to get redone better and maybe even replaced Ship of Theseus style in the future. I would say definitely the ARMS video, the Furby video, the Chuck E. Cheese video, the Fire Emblem video, and the Smash Lost Media video are all the most likely candidates to be redone. Maybe the Ninjago and Monster High ones too. What is your thought process while making a video? I would say the very first thing I consider when something pops into my head or I'm reminded of it while scrolling on social media is how could I approach a video about this? I feel I think very non-linearly about the video making process. For example, when I did the Star Rail video, the way it happened was that I was obviously playing the game going, oh hey, a video about this would be fun, and then I sat on that idea for a month procrastinating starting anything about it, not even a script. But then while drawing or something, I was listening to the Smash 64 soundtrack, and I could vividly picture the way I wanted to edit a transitional scene to a specific track that I was listening to. I'll just play what I ended up with here. We can move on to my favorite part. As someone who has now stated multiple times that they don't like turn-based stuff, I sure do get a lot of enjoyment out of this game's combat. And thinking about the concept of doing that was what made me want to finally sit down and start writing a script. Just because I wanted to edit that specific scene, just that transition, just that. No, I am not professionally diagnosed. Doing the script has kind of become my favorite part. I do feel like some of my videos have lackluster research, even though I love doing that stuff. I think I have a hard time determining what would and wouldn't really be important to include, and sometimes I end up leaving some gaps where I could have been a little more thorough, or sometimes I'm working on stuff on so little energy that I misinterpret things sometimes. I do think I'm a lot better with that now than I used to be, but yeah, it's to say that I've tried to include a more of a wide lens in my thought process than I used to. From top to bottom, it's remembering something I like and going, I like this thing, in what way can I make a video out of it? And then moving on to outlining what things I like about the topic, what I want to cover and from what approach, and then going from there. Everything is a blur from there. I mainly hate making videos, but then once every blue moon I will really love making videos. A very wise man once said something to the effect of, I hate literally every step in the art process. The only thing I hate more than making art is not making art. And I feel like that is a very accurate assessment of what it feels like to create things sometimes. Would you ever consider collaborating with another channel? I have done one public collab, and plans for others did just kind of naturally fall through, which is absolutely fine. I know people have lives. I would love to do more collabs, and lately I've been yearning for the sweet human connection that is having a circle of YouTube friends. Making YouTube friends is on my hierarchy of needs. If you have an opening in your YouTube friend circle for a girl who carries the vibe of a round green bug, this is my official application. These questions are more personal ones that I got from suggestions from my TikTok audience who likes me more than you guys do. What is your favorite Overwatch mythic skin and weapon as of March 2026? I don't know if this really counts because it's not technically out when I'm writing this, but it is out when I'm recording it. So I am going to say May's mythic skin is so cute. I did force myself to learn May just to justify getting it. Actually though, I really like Zenyatta's. It's really gorgeous and I've always been like a big Zen fan, so that's my answer. Very close tie with May. I would fight to the death for either of them. Zenyatta's skin is like one of the few male mythics I think are actually really nice. His and Lifeweaver's. I don't know what they're doing in there, but they better figure it the fuck out before they start working on Wu-Yongs, I swear to god, please. As for the weapons, I think Orissa's is my favorite right now. It's really cute and I like when they give Orissa really cutesy stuff. I think what they did to make it interactive was really creative. I just wish she maybe had like a nice skin to match it, or like maybe I had a nice skin of hers to match it. That's really my only complaint. What are your favorite shows and movies? I haven't watched anything that originally premiered in the last like 10 years in ages. I absolutely adore SpongeBob. I also love the Muppets. The original Muppet movie and the 2011 Muppet movie are two of my favorite movies of all time. I also really love the Lego movie. I think me and my sister must have watched the Lego movie about a dozen times over the summer of 2014 on our cable carrier's on-demand service. I really liked the Digimon animated series. My favorite season is Frontier. I'm a sucker for game shows. I watch Jeopardy religiously. I don't think I'm quite smart enough to be on Jeopardy, but I still try. My boyfriend got me really into Ruby in the past few years. Still waiting on any news on that front, by the way. Who are your top 5 favorite characters? This is a loaded question. Before I can think about it too much, I'll just say Robin from Fire Emblem, Toy Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's, Luca from Honkai Star Rail, SpongeBob SquarePants, and Cole from Ninjago. In no particular order. Absolute nightmare blunt rotation. If you're curious about some of the other characters I like, I do have a video up about that, and I'm planning on making similar ones with different characters. Do you collect anything? I collect drinking mugs. I still collect mugs. I have a lot of them. I have no idea how this started. I never planned to do this, but I did it. And here are all of my mugs. I also like to collect SpongeBob things. I will put the SpongeBob things with the mugs. I'm realizing I like SpongeBob a lot more than I really let on here. It would be impossible to show everything off, but I also collect art supplies like Walmart's gonna accept dried markers, stubby colored pencils, and assorted ephemera or other trinkets as currency when the apocalypse happens or something. What do you do in your free time? This. No, I spend most of my free time drawing. It's something I really like doing. I feel like especially recently my art has become such an entertainingly streamlined process that it's not like a mega pain in the ass to finish any artwork like it used to be. Drawing in the style I use now versus the one I used to have makes me really understand why so many cartoons are animated the way they are. Yeah, go figure that a simple art style makes the process of creation more simplistic and carefree and therefore makes me feel more fulfilled. That actually is more or less becoming true with making videos again. Like, for some reason they don't feel like as much of a drag as they used to. I don't really know what would have changed, but I know when I finally get a job, my free time is either gonna go to this or the art, because I cannot do both, and to be completely frank, I don't think you guys will ever hear from me again if I have to flip burgers for 8 hours and then come home and do what amounts to research homework I've assigned myself. Not without some actual ADHD meds. I do enjoy gaming quite a bit. Genshin and Overwatch have become some of my favorites right now. But I am also working on Fire Emblem Engage. I will not be buying Fortune's Weave. I do not have a Switch 2. I will not have a Switch 2. Are there things you'd like to get into but just haven't yet? I'm still looking for a physical copy of Guilty Gear Strive. I think I mentioned this in a video. I would like to get my hands on one before Robokai gets added into the game. It seems like, especially in today's fandom climate, you can and will be called a tourist or a LARPer or whatever they're saying now for liking Sonic but not having Sonic's Boom model tattooed on your left nut, or liking Leon Kennedy without having a thread of his mocap actor's hair surgically sewn into your scalp, or liking Hatsune Miku without having an exact replica of the sword that symbolizes the voice bank VY2 strapped to your belt as potential self-defense in one of the probably very few places on this earth that will allow it. But I'm not afraid of middle school bullies, so there are tons of things I do like from the outside looking in and would love to get into somehow someday. Final Fantasy is one of them. I am in love with Prompto Argentum. Persona, I did start playing Persona 5 and haven't had the pleasure of finishing it. It's mostly games, I've realized. There are a million anime I have said I would like to watch and haven't. I would like to get more into Twisted Wonderland, but that has to wait until I have a phone or something with more horsepower or more room for it. I did like the anime a lot, even though I knew exactly what was gonna happen at all times because I had played the game before that. Mostly though, I would like to at least have a Guilty Gear game in my possession so I can get more into that. Info dump about Guilty Gear in my comments if you know anything about it. I'm trying to study up before the big test. What career would you like to have? I would love to be a voice actor, but it's like, I don't like any element of what being a voice actor would entail. One of the key things about voice acting is not being anxious or being embarrassed about being perceived, and I'm like physically incapable of having absolutely any attention put on me in that kind of setting. I don't want to audition for anything. My current sound quality is kind of embarrassing, and I don't feel like I'm attractive enough for headshots. I go through this at least once a month where I'm like, okay, I'm still young, there's successful voice actors my age, I already live close enough to the scene, I think I want to actually consider making some kind of move on that front. And then I do like one surface Google or just poke around the informational posts of one of the 36 voice actors I'm following and go, nope. Nope, not for me. I think doing voiceover for my videos scratches that itch enough, but then again, voice acting is something that keeps popping up in the back of my head and won't leave me alone, and I will probably die that way. Realistically, I would like some kind of creative job. I don't know what it would be yet, but I think that's just in my nature to be creative. And anything in that arena that I can get my hands on as like a stable career would be great. Especially these days, that's disappearing before our eyes, but I would like to be lucky enough for that. Who are some characters you relate to? I am literally Kirara from Genshin Impact. We are the exact same person. I feel seen by her. The same goes for Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers. I want to be just like her when I grow up. Anyway, that's all of the questions I got. New video coming soon. I don't know what it's gonna be about. I haven't written it at the time of recording this. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching, and I will see you when I see you. I will see you in the next video. Promise me that I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.